Hi, I'm Jonah. This is my MYP project, and for my MYP project, I'm cooking 5 different dishes, all from different cultures, to experience them and just see how to cook them. I'm be grading them kind of on how they taste and also how easy they are, because I'd say I'm like an average cook, so if I can make them, most people can. The first thing is from Brazil. It's Brazilian cheese bread, or it's called pão de queijo, which means bread of cheese or cheese bread. It's a fairly simple recipe, but for some history on it real quick. So a lot of different dishes from certain cultures have one thing that kind of make it like specific for the culture, and it's the tapioca flour. And specifically for that because when it was first made, it was made by slaves, and they really didn't have a lot of like major things. They didn't really have eggs or cheese or milk, but they did have tapioca, and they used that to make like the first this first cheese bread. And later on, it was cheese and milk were kind of added to it to make this cheese bread. But this is really an important part of it. So let's get started. So things you're gonna need: 1 large egg, which I have in here. I have exactly one. You need a 1/3 cup olive oil. You're gonna need 2/3 cup milk, 1.5 cups tapioca flour, and a 1/2 cup of cheese. And you can use queso fresco or any cheese really, but you can also use feta cheese, which is what I had in my fridge. So we're gonna use that. And some salt, which is just a pinch of salt. Okay, so basically you're gonna mix it all into just a bowl really. So I'm first making the egg. Here. Throw it in the trash real quick. Keep sanitary with my hands. And then, okay, so you got the egg. And immediately after, we're gonna add the 1/3 cup of olive oil. So a little measuring here. So take some extra virgin olive oil. We're just gonna go right into here. Almost there, and okay, that's it. So pour it in there on top of it, olive oil. Okay, now we're gonna need 2/3 cup of milk. So we use different 1/3 cup measuring to do 2 of them. It's a lot easier because it's more liquid. So 1/3 cup and 1/3 cup. Okay, so that's that. So let's do the 6. Okay, next we're gonna use the tapioca flour. And we need 1.5 cups. So we'll grab as a 1/2 cup here. Grab the 1 cup here. Or you could use 2 or 3 different 1/2 cups. I think this might be easier. One other thing you have to do, one other thing that's important is to preheat the oven. You need it to be 400 degrees, and see over here. I already have it preheated and ready to go. All right, get the flour, a little messy. Put it on here. Okay, and then that's about it. Okay, pour a little bit, and then just gonna pour it on now. So that's 1 cup. And then we're also gonna need the 1/2 cup as well, because we need 1.5 cups. Here we go. Should be good, okay. And last but not, a little messy here, okay. And then we're gonna need a 1/2 cup as well of cheese. So we're just gonna grab some of this feta cheese, and we're just gonna pour it on into here. Just get a little bit gets in, doesn't have to be exact. That's about it. Pour it on in there, okay. And then the last thing we need is just a teaspoon of salt. So I have a little teaspoon here. I'm just gonna grab a little bit, about there. It's the good thing about cooking, you don't need to be as exact as baking. So once you do this, I'm gonna mix it up a little bit in here, kind of just get it all blended together. You don't need to do a great job, because the next step is we're gonna put in the blender. So the next step is to blend all the ingredients together, and you can either do it in a blender or if you have a food processor, that also works. So we're just gonna put it all into the blender. Make sure you get your spatula to get everything out, because every little thing's important. Tapioca flour is a little bit pretty thick once you mix it with the milk, so just make sure it gets all out. Okay. That's good enough. Okay. And now for the ingredient, we are going to blend it so it's blended very well. Put the top on. Don't do that, it's going to go everywhere. Seems pretty self-explanatory. Turn it on, plugged in, and turn it up a little bit. Make sure it's very well blended. Good, it should be good enough. Everything seems pretty well blended, so I'm just gonna give it one more time though, just to make sure everything's good. Alright, yes, that's really good. Never turn it off, make sure it's off. Okay, now the next step to do is to pour it into the into a mini muffin pan. So you're not actually so here they are right here. You don't actually need the actual cupcake ones because they're gonna be too big. You need these mini cupcake. So you're gonna spray a little bit of non-stick spray into it. Then make sure they're easily get out. Oh, that's good. Okay, we can do that a little more. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna put it into the actual pans. You don't want to go all the way. You want to leave a bit of room because they're gonna puff up as you're gonna see once they cook. And the cook time it kind of depends, but you're gonna wanna, it says to do it for about 15-20 minutes. So I'm gonna put it for 15 minutes and then check on them and then see if they're golden brown, because that's what we want. We want them to be golden brown, so leaving a little room there. Okay, so this should be. Okay, then we're gonna flip the other ones real quick. And we're gonna go over here. Should have enough left. There we go. Missing one, but it's okay. I think I put a little too much on one of these, but it's okay. Okay, so that's that. Now the oven is ready, so we're gonna go put it in the oven, and put it on these little sheet real quick. So make sure. Okay, put in the oven, and then we're gonna wait 15 minutes. Right, so timer 15 minutes. And there you go. Okay, that's it. We'll wait for it to go. Yeah, so it's been about 15 minutes. We had to add like 5 to 7 minutes just to get them like kind of golden brown. So most of them are, except some of them clearly are bigger than the other ones, but that's because I accidentally put too much of the stuff in it. Put too much of the mixture. So we grab a knife. Okay. And take one of these out. This looks pretty good. They're pretty hot. Look pretty good. Woo. Really hot. I'm gonna get little nothing, just like tear it up. Okay, looks pretty good. Pretty good. Let me try it. Look cool for a second, but in all, these are pretty, like, they're all pretty, come out pretty easily just because put the spray. it makes 24, except I did use a little bit too much of the batter and clear this one, you can see for yourself. So I'd say about 20 minutes is more of it, because I say we bake them for about 20 to 25 minutes. But so I think this is probably enough to try. Let me try it. Very good. Okay, so in all, super simple recipe. Brazilian cheese bread. It was good, and I really think any chef can make this. All you do is, to make it even simpler than I did, you can literally put all the ingredients in straight into the blender and blend it, put that straight into these and cook it. It's super simple. Maybe 5 minutes of hands-on time, which is the cooking, and then 15 minutes of actually cooking in the oven at 400. But, you know, it was pretty good. So, yeah. Okay, bye. Hey, I'm Jonah, and this is my second recipe that I'm making. It is called malva pudding, and it's a South African dessert. And some history on it real quick. It's a sweet baked pudding originated from Dutch origin, and it's served with a custard, which we're gonna make, and sometimes with ice cream. It's made with apricot jam, vinegar, and has like this spongy texture. Okay, so now for the recipe. You need 1 cup sugar, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon apricot jam, 1 cup flour, 1 tablespoon baking soda, a pinch of salt, a tablespoon of butter, teaspoon of white vinegar, and a cup of milk. So I've already mixed the baking soda, salt, and flour into a bowl right here, the correct proportions. And then now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the egg into the mixer. So pull it back here. Here we go. Along with the egg, we're gonna add the sugar, which I've already poured a cup out. So here's a cup of sugar, I'm just gonna pour it in here. There we go. And then we're gonna mix it right there. Mix it in there. All right. Okay, that should be good for now. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add the jam, and it's gonna be a tablespoon of apricot jam. So we got a tablespoon measure here. I'm gonna grab this. Grab a tablespoon of this. Perfect. On there, and then we're gonna beat that as well. And mix it all together. All right, that should be good. Okay, so next we're gonna melt butter. I already melted some butter before, so here, melted butter. We're gonna mix this, put this in a bowl right here. We're gonna mix this with the vinegar. So I have some white vinegar right here. We're gonna need a teaspoon of white vinegar. So you have a teaspoon right here. Pour it out into here. There we go, should be good. So much, it's okay. And then, so now we're gonna add the liquids and the and the flour mixture into here as we beat it, and kind of like alternating them. So a little bit of each at a time. So we're gonna add a little bit of this, not all of it at once. Add a little bit of this, and then. Add a little bit of this into here as well. Okay. Then we're going to add the rest of this, the kind of liquid mixture. Turn up a little bit higher. And then we're going to add the rest of the flour mixture. Real quick, make sure it's all in there. I'm gonna let it mix a tiny bit more. It's all. Okay, that should be good. Now we're gonna pull it up here. Just pull this up, out. This is. Try to get all the mixture out, make sure you get all of it into the dish. That's good enough. This over here, and then we're gonna, it says bake in a dish at 350, so I've already heated the oven to 350. We're just gonna take this bowl here, I'm gonna put it into this pan. Kind of pretty thick at this point, so we're gonna put it. Oh, first, ooh, I'm trying. We have to spray with Pam to make sure it's not. There's some type of spray to make sure it doesn't stick. So we just spray it real quick. Okay, good. And now we're just gonna pour the rest of it in here. Pour it on here. Try to get even, spread out. Grab another spoon here, make sure I get all of it off. Okay. From there, now we're just trying to get it kind of as even as possible, kind of getting to all the corners. So far it's not too hard, I've done it pretty easily except for this part really. Trying to get it all even out. I think this is about as good as we're gonna get it. All right, and so now we're gonna put in the oven for 45 minutes to an hour. Okay, I'll put it in. Top here. All right, and then we're gonna set a timer for. That's done. Go back. All right, that's it for now. All right, so the malva is cooking right now. About 20 minutes left, and we're gonna make the sauce on top of it. So the sauce includes a cream, butter. The butter's already cooking in here, as you can tell, kind of melting really. Sugar and hot water. So we're gonna add the half cup of hot water. Put it in here. You want this on the stove because you want to get it all ready. And then we're gonna add a cup of cream and a cup of sugar. So I'm gonna add a cup of sugar first. This is kind of what makes it more of a dessert. Got this more. It's very sweet with the cream, the sugar, and the butter. Kind of gives it more of a desserty type feel. Okay. Should be about enough, maybe a little more. Okay. Okay. About a cup. Okay, I'm gonna pour this in here. Well, I'll show you. Then maybe we're gonna pour also 1 cup of cream as well. So while that's in there, we'll pour 1 cup of cream. The heavy whipping creams. Basically just thicker milk, sweeter milk. So we're gonna add a cup of that. All of it in there, and then we're now just gonna pretty much mix it all together. And then what you do is once the malva comes out, and I'll show you when it comes out. Once the malva comes out, right as it comes out, you put it down, take the foil off, and then we're gonna dump this right on it. This kind of is that sweet sauce, kind of like makes it that pudding type. So I'm gonna let this simmer a little longer. See, it's like now 1 full thing. So let it just go a little longer. Okay. Now it does that. Now we're just wait for the malva, and then we're gonna pour this on it as it comes out. All right. All right, so it's done cooking. It cooks for about 45 to 50 minutes. It requires 45 to 60, but it's done at this point. So I'm gonna pull it out, put foil on top. I'll bring it over here to where the sauce is cooking. As I mentioned before, okay, so take this off, it's very hot. There you go, very nice, very nice. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, and we're literally just gonna pour it on top. Let's get some a little bit more traction. Pour it right on top. So it should go through. I can use all of it, or shoot a little bit of it. And turn the stove off. Let it sink in a little bit. So what this is supposed to do is the sauce is kind of supposed to seep through the cake and kind of make it very moist and overall just taste very good. Okay, we're just gonna grab a fork real quick and poke a few holes, make sure it gets all the way down. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna cut a little bit of it and put it on a plate. Plate right here. So I'm also gonna cut a piece for my brother who's back there on the camera. You know? So I'm gonna grab a knife real quick. So here. Grab this stuff and sort of a little bit here, a little bit here. Just a little piece, you know, right now. I'm gonna cut myself some as well. What I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna grab a little bit of the sauce here. I'm gonna pour a little bit extra on the top. It's also something you can do if you know. There you go. Okay, leave that there for now. Grab a few forks. You wanna try it. It should be pretty hot though, so. You can see the steam coming off it. Okay, here we go. It's really spongy, really sweet. Pretty good. Try some. I'll get my brother in it real quick. I'm gonna try some else to give a second interview on it. Oh, he doesn't want to get in it. But here, I'll give it some, and then I'll cut him off a little bit right now. Here you go, cameraman right here. He doesn't want to be in it, but now what does it taste? Gives a thumbs up. Give a thumbs up. Very good. He says very good. So yeah, that is malva pudding from South African descent. Another really just like different culture and another great experience. I've never really had anything like this like from my culture. So yeah, that's it. I'm Jonah, and this is the third recipe I'm making from different cultures. This one is from a Jewish food, and it's called kugel. And some history on it, like the other two dishes. So it's pronounced kugel, and it's a Yiddish word for German, which means sphere, and it's because it has a German background. The recipe we're making today is referred to as noodle pudding, or like that's what it's called, but overall it's called kugel. So in the recipe we have noodles. We have 8 ounces of noodles here, and I already boiled them and then measured out and put into this bowl. We need sugar, vanilla, sour cream, and eggs. So the first thing we're gonna do is put all the ingredients except the noodles into the mixer real quick. So we have 3/4 a pint of sour cream. There's a pint here of about 3/4. So I'm literally gonna put this entire thing in here. Grab a spoon real quick. I'm gonna grab it out. Just gonna plop it on in here. So like the other recipes, this one's also fairly simple and straightforward. Just by reading the instructions, it should be pretty self-explanatory, but that's so far. All right, next thing we're gonna do is add you also need a stick of melted butter, and like the last time I already melted that, so here's your 1 stick of melted butter. Pour that in, all of it, right here. Okay, next thing we need is 3/4 cup sugar. So there's a this is a 1/4 cup right here. So I'm gonna add 3 of these. Here we go, quick. 1, 2, 4. All right, 2, and just 1 more, and then that'd be good. Perfect. All right, and now we're gonna add 1/2 teaspoon, so I have a 1/2 teaspoon right here of vanilla. Over here. Perfect. That's perfect there. And then the last thing we need to do is add 3 eggs. We do have to beat them first. I'm gonna crack them into here real quick. The trash, just them straight away. 1, 2, and finally the last one, 3. Okay. My hands real quick. There. Now it's the fork. We're just gonna beat them pretty quickly into so the yolk kind of gets mixed in with everything, with the egg whites. Once we finish beating this, should be around a little while or so. Okay, that's pretty good right here. You don't need to put a lot of effort into this because you're gonna put it straight into the mixer as well. So we're gonna put this right here. Here you go, final product of that. Put it into the mixer as well. You get all of it into there. Now we're gonna beat this all up. So those are all the ingredients. You got the sour cream, you got the 1 stick melted butter, 3/4 cup sugar, 1/2 teaspoon vanilla, and your 3 eggs. Okay, now we're gonna push this down. We're gonna start up kind of slow. Make sure all the ingredients are getting in there. Sometimes it gets up on the side, like it just did there, so we're gonna beat it down a little bit. Here. So you don't want to do it until it's kind of consistent, like one mixture. We go a tiny bit longer. And also one of the first, before you even get started actually, you're gonna want to preheat the oven to 350. And overall you're gonna be cooking it for 45 minutes. 350 to 45. So you're gonna put all the noodles in here. Some on top here. Alright, that should be good there. And then pull this up. Okay, take this out of here. And then we're just pour all of this on the top. So you kind of get all of it covered, so kind of go back and forth, trying to get all of the pieces covered, because you're gonna put this straight in the oven for 45 minutes. You got a little bit of stuck on the bottom there, so trying to get that off. And pour it into here. This recipe is actually from my grandma, so using her little sheet right here, a little piece. Okay, that should be good on the pan. Sure. Make sure everything is covered. And then I'm gonna put in the oven 350 for 45 minutes, and then we'll check on it after that. All right, that's it. Okay, so the food was ready. Been cooking for about 45 minutes. Take it out. Now cook for as long as you need. Kind of 45 minutes is the minimum. Kind of want to get it kind of brown on top to where it's kind of getting a little harder on top. So still pretty hot, but I'm gonna cut a piece so I can try it. You know, give you the feedback on it. spoon. We have a spoon. We're gonna dig it out. Here we go. Pretty hot stuff. Okay, here we go. Pretty good, yeah. That wasn't too hard to make, and it's also a good experience, you know, good cook. All right, that's it. Hi, I'm Jonah, and this is one of the recipes I'm making for MYP. It's vegetable dumplings, like Asian vegetable dumplings from this cookbook. And some quick history, as I already kind of started on it, on the recipe. So dumplings, they're known to be created like originally by a guy named Zhang Zongjing. And it's because he noticed that many people had like frostbitten ears, and this was about 1800 years ago, so very, very long time ago. And so he wrapped different types of meat and vegetables into this ear-shaped little pocket in dough, which kind of resembled exactly what dumplings look like today, and gave them out to the poor people to keep them warm. But people actually started liking the taste, and eventually they formed what we call dumplings today. So dumplings we're making are vegetable dumplings, so there's not actually any meat in it. So I have the recipe right here, and I already started a little bit on it. I chopped up I minced the garlic first, and I chopped up the cabbage and mushrooms, and the mushrooms have been cooking for about 8 minutes. And I just started cooking because I thought it'd be a little bit easier than to watch them cook the same thing for 8 minutes. So they're about done. The next thing you're supposed to do in the recipe is to add the cabbage. So to add the cabbage. So for the cabbage, it's supposed to be 1 cup. It's 1 cup, 1 weeping cup, which basically means if it was 1 regular cup, I'd cut it off about right here. But since it's a weeping cup, it's kind of like overflowed, kind of making that oval. So I'm gonna add this into here. Just kind of like fold it into it. Now the dumpling recipe did require a lot of prep, a lot of beforehand stuff, so just something to point out. Hold it on here. Okay. Some of the other ingredients that go with it are some garlic. We start off with some oil in the pan with mushrooms to begin, soy sauce, and cornstarch, and of course some salt. I'm gonna add some salt right now to turn it to about medium heat. Gonna let them cook, kind of until they're not as watery, and they're kind of not like cooked to death, but kind of like pretty pretty dry. So this is gonna cook for about a few minutes, just until it gets completely dry. You see, there's still a little wet, so. Okay. I'm gonna keep cooking until it gets dry. Okay, it just finished cooking. It got pretty dry. The mushrooms actually shrunk down to a lot, pretty small. So now what we're gonna do is the next step is to pour it onto a bowl. We're gonna add the rest of the ingredients. We're gonna pour it onto here. Okay, try to get all the mushroom stuff. Did stick a little bit to the pan, but it's okay. We got most of it off. Okay. Actually, I'm trying to get out some more of this real quick. Try to get most everything out of here. Okay. Put that back here. Okay. So now that we have all the stuff in the bowl here, I'm actually gonna let it cool for a little bit. I'm gonna explain what we're gonna do next. Okay, so we have to add the garlic, soy sauce, and cornstarch to the mixture. So your garlic, garlic is a teaspoon, but it had to be minced. So we minced it before with, I don't know where it is. We just minced it before. And you need a tablespoon of that. You need a tablespoon of that. You also need a tablespoon, 2 teaspoons of the cornstarch, and also a tablespoon of soy sauce. So I think this is I think it's cooled down enough for now. So I'm just gonna add all this stuff. So I'm just gonna get a little spoon. Okay, so we're gonna put all the garlic in there. Get a tablespoon of soy sauce. And then we're gonna need 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. The cornstarch is, and the cornstarch, 2 teaspoons. Teaspoon right here. Okay. No, we don't want. We do not want the weeping, so we're gonna want to measure it off if you can. Try to get it exact as possible. Okay, there we go. There you go with that. Okay. Okay. So now you're gonna do that, and you combine it all together, and you're gonna. I'm gonna try a little bit and see if it's how it's supposed to be, and then you're supposed to taste for seasoning. Okay. Just kind of whip it all together, fold it on each other. Really well mix all the ingredients, kind of blend together. You know, one dumpling with a lot of soy sauce, and then one with a lot of garlic. I don't know what that. So you fold it in at each other. So we have our dumpling wrappers over here. And actually what happened was I could not find any dumpling wrappers. So I actually bought egg roll wrappers, which are bigger and square, and cut circles out of them using a small bowl. So this should work. We also, okay. So as we mix this, okay. I go to this book. Here's a little picture of what it's supposed to be like. You see the kind of ear shape right there. Okay. All right. So this is how you make the dumplings right here. So I'm gonna give an example here. So we already made a few, as you can see, they're starting to cook. So you can grab about a spoonful or so into here. Grab a finger and go around the edge with water. This is how it's going to kind of seal. This gives it kind of makes it kind of sticky. So you're gonna kind of fold it like a taco all the way around, and then you want to pleat it. So kind of go back like that. It's gonna get this nice little pleat right here. Okay, perfect. Now I'll put it straight on that, straight on here. And when you cook for, okay, now we're gonna cook for. That's gonna cook for 30 seconds on about medium heat, and we're gonna add some water. So I'm gonna add a timer real quick of 30 seconds. Okay, I'm making another one while we're right here. We're almost done with the filling, as a matter of fact. So add this, Okay, get a layer of water on the outside. Okay. And now we're gonna fold it up real quick. Same type thing. Fold it like a taco, then pleat it. All right, so the timer is up. So that means that, and then that means that now we need to add about a 1/4 cup water. You'll pour it all on top. I'm gonna cover it straight with the top. So basically, the oil kind of gets that kind of cereal on the bottom, but the water is basically gonna steam it. It's called pan fried. So we're gonna do that for about 3 minutes. So I'm gonna make the timer real quick. Okay, 3-minute timer, and we'll check back when they're done. All right, so the dumplings just finished cooking. You can see a few of them right here. I pulled out on a plate. It said cook for about 3 minutes. We cooked it for about 3 to 5-ish. So after it steamed, they were kind of brown on the bottom like they are now. So we dumped out a little bit of the water and oil mixture and just kind of browned them a little more. But that was just how it was for when I cooked it. But I'm trying real quick. You know, they're pretty hot. They just came out. Try this one. Looks kind of the best. So gotta try it. Now right here, I just have some soy sauce with soy sauce right here. So I'm dipping in there. It's really good. I mean, everything's cooked through. In case the mushrooms and the cabbage, it's all really good, to be honest. I think I'd definitely do it again. One thing I would have to say about this is it was a long process. It was the chopping, everything. It was like kind of like a little painstaking process compared to other recipes that I've cooked, which are just like do all the ingredients right here, just pour it and do it, kind of like the cheese bread. But this was, I think, has a better final product than anything you made, so it was kind of worth it, kind of all the work. So yeah, that's it. Hey, it's Jonah, and today we're gonna make chicken piccata. It's an Italian dish. It's a chicken dish, back there with with a lemon caper sauce. So I'm just gonna start on it. It's a fairly simple recipe, not too many ingredients. So first thing is we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of oil into this pan, which I already have going at medium heat. Let's see, 2 tablespoons. Yeah, so here's tablespoon. So I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but for this, I'll just do it exactly as it says. Okay, and then also it says you have 4 tablespoons of butter in total, but we're only, for this part, we're only use half of it, 2 tablespoons. So I'm gonna get a knife real quick, cut this in half. 2 tablespoons more. Right here. Okay. Right there. Okay. So as this cooks, as it starts to melt, so back here we have 4 chicken breasts that, in the recipe says to cut in half. So it looks like I have 8 chicken breasts, but really it's 4, just all cut in half. So right now we're gonna add the salt and pepper. It's a half teaspoon of each, but you can also have pepper right here. So we'll grab some teaspoons. But I'm actually just gonna sprinkle it on here. So just gonna go. Salt on the side, a little pepper. Okay, also gonna flip it over and get both sides real quick. Okay, good. And then please pepper. Actually, I got a little napkin first. Okay, so we're gonna do pepper on the side. Okay. Go there, and then we do a little salt. Perfect. Okay, now we're gonna put it on the pan. We'll put in the flour first. Okay. Drench in flour a little bit. Okay, I go there. Put it in the pan. I'm gonna do 4 right now. 4 after. Okay. There we go. In there. Okay, now it's gonna go for until it's brown on each side, and come back when it's done. All right, so we're back. I got the chicken cooking here. Finished that first pour over here already. Added under foil to keep it kind of hot. So these are done. We're getting kind of browned, and they're just finishing up as we speak. I'm gonna take them off actually. So put them back through under the foil here. And then, all right, perfect. Now put it under the foil. Make sure it gets hot. Make sure it stays hot. Okay, perfect. Okay, so the next step is to build the sauce that chicken's gonna be in. So one of the most important things is we're actually gonna do it in the same pan. So one of the important things is to actually get a spoon here, I have a wooden spoon, and to scrape up some of the brown stuff here, the kind of more cooked part of the chicken, that kind of, this will add a lot of flavor to the sauce. So I'm gonna get a little more of this right here. Okay, this is good for now. Okay, so now we're gonna add the other stuff to it. So we have chicken broth right here. We're gonna use a half cup of chicken broth. So I have a half cup measure. I have a half cup measure right over here. Right over here. Over here. And okay, so I'm gonna do half cup. Okay, and then we're also going to use lemon juice. We're going to do a third cup of lemon juice. So, so I don't actually have lemons. I have just pure lemon juice. So I have a third cup measure right here. Okay, right. Yep, third. And it says if you don't actually have juice, it's about 2 lemons worth of juice. Okay, so here. So that. And we're actually going to turn it up here to kind of get the sauce going. And then we're also going to add capers. So I already measured, you're going to need a 1/4 cup of capers. You need them washed and then dried. So I already measured out a 1/4 cup, so I'm going to pour these in. There. That should be it. So we need to bring it to a boil here. So I got my spoon back. Kind of mix it around. Now after this heats up quite a lot, we're actually going to add the chicken back to it so it absorbs the flavors. Because the chicken, it was pretty done, but we're going to get it like completely fully cooked once it's in the sauce. So you can see the stuff we scraped up is actually adding flavor to the rest of the broth. So we're going to let it cook for a little bit. Alright. So we keep cooking. Okay, so I'm cooking for a few more seconds. I'm gonna add the chicken in. Okay, here we go. Should be good. Starting to boil on the sides here, so we're good. So I'm actually not gonna add all 8 pieces of chicken. I'm only gonna add 4 for now, just because of the room in the pot. So figure out 4 real quick. So 1, 2, 3, and 4th one. Let me choose this one. Okay. No, we can do it. We'll do it. There's room enough. There's enough room. Okay, perfect. Okay. We'll put the rest back under the foil to make sure they stay hot. And then we're going to cook it for about 5 minutes. So I'll put a little timer up here just in case I need. Okay, 5 minutes. No, it shouldn't always take about 5 minutes, but that's like about what it says. So I'm gonna keep it. So it says you're gonna simmer until it's cooked all the way through. So If you cook the chicken a little less than it's supposed to be cooked, that's okay, because once you put it back in the pan, it'll get fully cooked. Just getting to brown the chicken was the main purpose of the cooking. So I'm gonna let it cook. We'll come back when it's done. In about 5 minutes, the chicken I checked and it's white on the inside, and it's ready. And I'm actually gonna take one off and try it here. So I guess I'll choose. Choose this one. You do this one. Okay, get a little bit of the sauce as well. All on top here. A little more. Okay. And then also cut up some fresh parsley. I'm gonna turn this off for now. I cut up some fresh parsley and just put it on top, so just make a little bit. Yeah, perfect. Now we're gonna try it. We got a fork. I have a knife here. Okay. Just. Okay. Yep. Kill the sauce. Good, you taste like the lemon, caper, like saltiness. Good. Hey, not too hard either. Alright.